Good afternoon from Emerald, PA. I thought I would take you into the woods with me to show you what I see, what I feel, how truly beautiful this place really is. How blessed we are. I even saw my first butterfly today. I was so excited. I hear the trees rustling and talking, the birds flying up ahead. I come here when I want to feel at peace, especially with the latest things that have been happening. I come here to ground myself. Some will say, what do you mean by grounding yourself? By feeling one with nature and feeling at peace, oneness, knowing that this is always here, this is always supporting us and loving us, where in our minds sometimes we believe that out there is very chaotic. How do we make sense of all of this? I know as a mother of two young teenagers, actually one who's 19 now, my goodness, what do I say to them? What do I talk to them about? As a mom, as a business owner, all these fears come into all of our heads. How do we talk with our kids? How do we be the example for our kids? I know the fear of loss of business and what's going on around us is really coming to a head now. But how are we going to model the behavior to our kids? They look to us for that safety and security. But when we're not feeling it, what do? I chose to be truthful with my children, to talk about the things that are difficult, the things that are coming out of the woodwork, and things are going to get ugly. They really, truly are. But my philosophy is that we are grounded with love. We can handle anything. I've been through a lot the last 10 years. I've had this massive awakening, and to really get to know myself on a deeper way was very scary. I was a very codependent person who blamed and shamed everybody else around me. How dare they do this to me? I can't believe this is happening. I was the queen of the victim status. It's just things that I've learned throughout my entire life, and by no fault of their own, because that's all they learned too. But within this journey, I decided to take my power back. I decided to take myself back. I decided to go within and look at myself. That wasn't easy to do, because, as I said, I blamed everybody else for what was going on in my life. But the biggest person I didn't look at was me. I had to find that self-love enough to do that. This is actually what is being called of us all now. This mass chaos in this world. How we choose to react or respond is ours alone. We can either blame the government, we can blame people around us walking around with or without masks, whatever the case may be, it still comes back to accountability of self. How we respond, how we react. I know a lot of us have been steeped in this fear, watching the programming on TV, to watching everybody in the communities, how everyone's treating each other. But I've also watched how people are responding to each other, how people are reaching out and helping, how they're actually taking accountability for themselves. This is where this planet needs to shift. It is very, very difficult when we've all been trained to look outside of ourselves, whether it be to our parents when we were little, to friends, to work, to the government, to the world around us. We have to choose how we're going to respond. Like I said, all this stuff is kind of come out of the woodwork, and it's going to be really, really freaking ugly. But it's how we choose to respond with it is what's needed most of all. I know I'm on here talking about my self-love and my ways of being and such like that, but it was a difficult journey at first to actually look within, to be centered enough within. It wasn't easy. But I do have some strategies and some ways that I was able to do it. You know, you can listen to all the gurus in the world, but the thing is what works best for you. What is your best way to center yourself? Hello. To listen to your inner callings, to listen to your inner wisdom. What is portrayed to you on the TV or in social media may or may not be what is actually happening. To look within, to feel within. Everything is right in your heart. Your heart is the key to it all. The key to us knowing everything that we've ever wanted to know. Now, I know that a lot of us have been on the internet scouring just social media and such to know what the heck is going on. But all that's really important is that this divine plan that is unfolding before us, as crazy and wicked and what the heck kind of shit is going on, is all being revealed to us. Little bit by little bit. It's very difficult to go within. When you have to quiet the voices of your mind, quiet the voices of things around you. But once you start exercising that muscle of going within, being quiet, of trusting you over anybody else, it becomes second nature, and you'll go back to nothing else. People always ask me, well, how do you know this, Chris? I said, I just do. That's one of my gifts that I've unraveled over this time, was the knowing, because I've been in my heart. When I was little and when I was a young adult, I was told that I was wrong and things weren't the way they were, when in actuality they really truly were what I was feeling. To come to that realization, that self-realization of who you are and what you have inside of you and all these beautiful mystical powers that reside right inside of you. Nobody, of course, wants you to know that. They just want you to follow the lead and do what I say and say what I do. But when you start becoming awakened, you start going down this path of this, what's called the dark soul. It's kind of showing us the shadows within, the shadows that are outside of us are actually inside of us as well. How we all have these parts of us that we've deemed ugly or we've deemed scary to look at, and we've pushed them away. Now is the time to go within. We're all sequestered inside of our houses. We're allowed to go out for walks like this or go to the store, but there's a lot of downtime. What are you choosing to do with your downtime? I'm choosing this. I'm choosing time with my boys. I'm choosing time with my friends. Yes, we may not be able to physically be in contact with each other, but that does not stop the heart. For the heart can seek out anybody at any time. We do mass meditations. We do all these things that bring us together to feel all of our hearts as one. And to realize that we are this oneness blows your mind. A simple way to actually connect within your heart, because we've been told to disconnect from our hearts. Turkey! To be connected within our hearts is actually easier than you think. We've been taught to do the exact opposite. But if I can offer anything as who I am and what I've discovered, it's a true connection of my heart and how I've always been connected to that. You can hear it in my voice as I talk about it. Anybody who knows who I am knows this connection, knows I speak from my heart at all times. There was times when I was younger, I would speak to what people wanted me to say or what I thought they wanted me to say. And any time that I would do that, I would become very, very sick. I found out within my early childhood, my marriage, doing and saying things that I wasn't, didn't work for me. And my body told me, what is your body telling you? What is your heart and soul telling you? I implore you to listen. Go deep within and listen. But Chris, how the heck do you do that? Breathing. First step is breathing. You breathe every day. We take advantage of that. We don't really focus on that. We just breathe. But when we actively breathe into our bodies and breathe into our heart, there's a silence there. This silence and beauty that is inside. How does one do that, you say? You just breathe deeply. Practice with me. Breathe in and breathe out. And it helps if you put your hand on your heart to breathe in and breathe out. To hear that inner wisdom, to hear that inner being speak to you. Just try breathing in and breathing out. This is how I make sense of what's going on around us. How I can be a grounded mother of two very inquisitive boys, of a friend and a teacher who's been also thrown into this world of people reaching out. Chris, how do I do this? Chris, what's going on? Breathe. Breathe within. Know within. It takes time and practice, but I assure you, the more you practice this, the better off you'll be. Where you won't go searching for all this knowledge and information because it's already inside of you. This is how I get through every day. Some days are easier than others. Some days I cry like a baby. I allow myself to feel. I allow myself to feel what's going on out there. The atrocities, the children, what's really going on. I allow that to come to me to transmute it, which we'll discuss later. But to know that you are this light, you are this love, and you always will be. That's a little glimmer of hope as to what's going to be revealed and what's going to come out. We're going to be okay. It may not seem it now, but this world is shifting dramatically. This whole world, the collective, has been shoved into this what the F kind of way of being. But for us just to calm ourselves, even if it's just for a couple minutes a day, to calm yourself, to feel that peace that's always within, will help you get through these days. I hope this helps. I would love for you to reach out. We're here to help. We're here to talk about things that most people don't like to talk about. But we're also here to guide and to show the way of how we are so calm and peaceful during these times. We love you. We're always with you. Thank you.